Welcome to Kitchen 143. I am your host, Michelle Aventajado, your mama in Manila. And today we are wrapping up our 4-part episode series with Potatoes USA. We have been hacking the potato and unleashing so much potential on all of the different dishes that we have learned from our guest chefs. Okay, so for the first 3 episodes of our guest chefs, we've demonstrated how versatile and nutritious the U.S. potato is, whether it is in frozen tater tots, French fries, dehydrated granules, or flakes. We've just unlocked so many of these dishes, and we've learned how to make katsu, brownies, pizza, kebabs, taisan, and yes, even sorbetes. In this last episode, we will learn about how you can use these U.S. potato products for kapampangan dishes. Traditional Filipino cooking is both rich and diverse, from the various techniques that we've used for centuries down to even the kinds of ingredients we still enjoy. It's high time we revisited these dishes, especially some of the dishes that many of us might have forgotten. Joining us today in Kitchen 143 is one of the country's most renowned chefs, Chef Sao Del Rosario. Chef Sao is classically trained and has sharpened his skills in restaurants from all over the world, including France, China, Thailand, and Singapore, before coming back to the Philippines. He has since then represented the country in various international events, and one of the champions, of course, bringing back traditional and regional flavors into the dining scene. He is also the proud owner of Cafe Flor, both in Pampanga and Manila. And Chef, I understand you are about to open another restaurant dedicated to traditional Filipino cooking as well. Hello, Chef. How are you?
Hi. Well, I'm Chef Sao. I was introduced as Chef Sao, and I'm Chef Sao in flesh. And yes, right now we have Cafe Flor in Poblacion, but in the next few weeks we are opening another restaurant, an exciting restaurant called Sao Sao. Well, called Sao Sao, obviously it's my name, but if you say Sao Sao, it means like a dipping sauce. So
Yes.
obviously it's a Filipino restaurant.
Yes. Yes, fantastic. So we know today we have given you challenges to use U.S. potatoes in traditional Kapampangan dishes, and we're so excited to share them with our viewers. I am sure everybody is very excited to learn from you. Again, we will just say hello to some of our viewers who are here. We have Elizabeth Tarimon saying hello. Carrie Dre is watching from Mandaluyong. Okay, Carrie is also saying she is excited for Kapampangan dishes also. Okay, so hello everyone tuning in. Thank you for letting us know where you're watching from. Do let us know, do continue to let us know. And if you have any questions for Chef Sao, or if you have any questions about Potatoes USA or any of the products that we'll be featuring today in Chef's recipes, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. We're live on the Rappler Facebook page, also on the Mama in Manila Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter. So be sure to let us know where you're signing in from. Before we pick Chef Sao's brain a little bit further about cooking and how versatile the potatoes are, you guys know we have giveaways. Giveaways this week are, of course, we have our apron, our U.S. Potatoes apron. We have a U.S. Potatoes mouse pad, a backpack, because we are going out now, right, guys? With level 1, we can go dine out and we can go run around outside as well. And of course, Bake By, where you will be able to get lots of dessert recipes using potato ingredients as well. Yes, you can make desserts with potato ingredients. So you will be up for a chance. 5 people will take one of these kits home. 5 different kits for 5 kits for the 5 different winners. And of course, be sure you guys know when we answer our questions, it's Kitchen 143. So the answers we choose will be the first winner, the 4th winner, the 3rd winner. And of course, if you're of the generation that knows this, the fourth winner and the fourth winner for the fifth question as well. 14344. Okay. Chef, before we start cooking, we love learning from all of our guest chefs. And of course, everybody knows that's tuning in. I am not a chef. I just like to eat. I like to cook. I am very much, I serve home style food in our house for my kids as well. And I love getting in the kitchen with my family. It's actually like one of our better ways to bond. But let's hear more about your passion for cooking. I know we were chatting off cam a little while before, but how you feel about Kapampangan cuisine and the heritage behind it, and even, how you're taking your classical training and melding that with our beloved Filipino dishes.
Yes, I am 100% Kapampangan, and I've been traveling the past 25 years, and I've been cooking. I was in Europe for quite some time, learning how to do French, and it was my calling. After 14 years, I want to go back and do something for Philippine cuisine. I'm just so blessed that I was able to experience the life of a Filipino abroad and learning all these experiences, getting all the knowledge like a sponge. I've been absorbing everything. So when I came back, I thought it's my job to transfer that knowledge to the new generation. And I thought that I would do that through Filipino food. So I grew up eating Kapampangan food. And I thought that, tayong mga Pinoy, we become too emotional sometimes when we eat something, or when maybe like we could smell something. It draws you back, it brings back good memories of childhood. And that isn't the interesting part about food, the story behind that, the story behind those glorious food. And a lot of this food came from my lolas and my grandmother. And that's the reason why I opened Cafe Flor, for me to feature some of my mom's and my lola's recipes, mga Kapampangan recipes. In that way, this is the best way to really to honor my family and through Kapampangan food. Two of the dishes that I love doing so much, we will feature this time, the pisto and the tamales. It gives you good memories of my grandmother because they used to do it during fiestas. Yeah. So I am just so honored and thrilled to pass on this recipe to you through this demonstration. And hopefully you will learn how to adapt also on what are available ingredients there are in the market, and probably level up those recipes and make it more, nutritious, becoming more, more tastier, even tastier, or make it more appealing to the young generation. And that's what this tamales is all about. Because when you serve tamales with this wrap in banana leaf, for example, the kids cannot relate anymore. They don't even know what it is. So it's my job to introduce those recipes like tamales and pisto to the young generation by making it more likable, make it more, it suits their taste buds so that they would appreciate it. And through that, I can able to tell the story about the tamales and the other dishes like the pisto.
Fantastic. And of course, share a little piece of your Lola with everybody. And of course, so there you have it, guys. Passing down recipes like that is the epitome of a heritage recipe. Learning something from your grandma and passing it down. And then, of course, giving it to the younger generation in a way that is more Instagrammable, so they will enjoy it as well, right, Chef?
Exactly.
So, fantastic. Okay, but so now I know that we're learning pisto and tamales. Let's talk about how you're bringing the potatoes in and which potato products you'll bring in for each of the dishes.
Well, I thought that one way of really to innovate tamales and pisto, as you know, we all love rice, not only Pampanga, but the whole regions, of Philippines. And sometimes we are too ricey. We're called rice people, but if we try to, to explore other ingredients such as the U.S. potato, for example, that will enhance more the flavors, and
Right.
it become economical, it become more nutritious, it become more practical, and
Yes.
you become more consistent in doing things. Like
Yes.
when you buy U.S. potato, like the granules that I'll be using for tamales, you could stock this forever in the chiller. It's always available in the market, and it's very doable. Like I always tell that millennials could learn a lot from these recipes
Yeah.
because the U.S. I'm sure they like potato so much, and this is what is all about, bringing the millennials and try the heritage recipe by doing this tamales recipe.
So you're actually modernizing the recipe, but still
Yes.
keeping the heritage intact. So
Yes.
guys, for those of you, we have some viewers from Pampanga, Parañaque. Let's see. We also have, I thought I saw someone from Rizal, of course. And we have someone watching from Poblacion, right near Cafe Fleur.
Oh
Hello,
my God.
Tristan. Fantastic. Okay, so chef, these recipes obviously will be up on Potato Goodness .ph, right? So we're sharing them today, and you guys can not only see these Kapampangan recipes on potatogoodness.ph, but you can also check out the Facebook page of Potatoes USA for other regional dishes, all Filipino dishes made with US potatoes. Really fantastic campaign going on now. So if you wanted to learn more about the dishes in different regions, you can visit potatogoodness.ph and also the Facebook page Potatoes USA to see how our local chefs are just integrating this very versatile and nutritious product into our own dishes. Okay, so chef, I know everybody is very excited to see you in action, but before we do that, we do have giveaways here. So we will do the Quiz the Cook giveaway, and the first person to answer correctly, because this is the first question, will win a mouse pad, a cookbook, a new cookbook, an apron, and of course a backpack to carry their stash when they're running around town now that we're all allowed out. Okay, so again, make sure to have shared the live stream because hashtag sharing is caring. We want to make sure that other people can see how easy it is to use Potatoes USA products in their dishes at home. And of course, sharing the kitchen love is always good, right? Okay, so here we go. First question is a yes or no question. Are potatoes naturally gluten-free? Okay. Yes or no question. So while you guys are answering that, we have viewers watching from Tondo. We also have viewers watching. We have a lot of people answering already. Okay. From QC, from Caloocan, also from Makati. So are potatoes naturally gluten-free? So remember, the first person to answer this question correctly, and make sure that you shared the live stream and it's set to public so we can see, you will be the one to get to take home this US potato swag. So while we are, let's see, we will be starting. I think we have a winner. Yes, we do. Congratulations, Sarabia Hazel. You answered correctly with yes. Yes. They are not only naturally gluten-free, they are rich in vitamin C, B6, vitamin B6, potassium, carbohydrates, fiber, iron, and protein. Okay, so we have one other question before we jump into our tamales with Chef Sao. I am very excited for the tamales. I'm actually the only person that really enjoys tamales in my household, so I get to be selfish with them. This second question, of course, it's 1, 4, 3. So the second question, you have to be the fourth person to answer correctly. Share the live stream. And of course, make sure it's set to public. We also need you living in Metro Manila or have a friend or a relative that you will deliver these fun prizes and swag to in Metro Manila. Okay, so remember, this is the fourth person to answer correctly who has already shared the live. How many calories are in a 148-gram potato? So now, if you guys are paying attention and you've been watching the episodes 1, 2, and 3 for this 4-part series, we have said this quite a few times and with quite a few chefs. So if you don't know the answer, that's okay too. I'm sure you could probably Google it. It might be tricky for some of you who did not pay attention in the previous episodes, or if you weren't tuning in. For me, actually, one of the things that we had growing up in our kitchen, I was always outdoors as a kid, chef. We had my cousins who lived right down the road. We played outside all the time. And I rarely came in for a meal. I would get called in for lunch or called in for dinner, and I really did not want to, stop playing. And in our house, we actually had like hard-boiled eggs in the fridge or boiled potatoes in the fridge as well. I'd run in, I'd grab a potato, I'd sprinkle salt on it, and I'd run back out so I could play with my cousins. I don't know if there's anything else, that screams childhood for me more than just being able to eat with my hands and run out the door, of course. So it looks like we have a lot of close answers, but not the correct answer yet. So while we're waiting for someone to answer correctly, Chef, why don't we start the tamales and let's introduce us first to the ingredients. Tamales, I know when we were talking earlier, you said means to wrap, but is there another name for the tamales that's Kapampangan in nature?
Well, you're right. Tamal means to wrap, but of course I'm not doing the traditional way. I'm putting in a nice container. But it says that in Pampanga we call it bobo too. Well, it's a long story. During the Spanish time, women are not allowed to vote. So the men, they go out to vote, and the women, they gather together, they cook something for their husband, and they cook tamales. But then they said lang parang na rin tayong bumoboto. So that's the word boboto came about. It's really the women who really prepared that for their husbands. From then they call it boboto, but it's other known as tamales.
See, yes, and I love the stories behind it. Like, I would have never known this. And for me, it just makes enjoying the tamales or even making the tamales so much more enriching as an experience, especially because I don't know much about the culture, and even more so Kapampangan. I know what I know from Tita Bebot, who I know is your first cousin. And then my Tita Marcia, she married Kapampangan also. Tito Bert. So, hey, Tito Bert, I'm sure you're not watching. It's the middle of the morning for you, 4 a.m. in New York. So I'm sure you're not watching, but his Kapampangan cooking, I was exposed to as well. So, okay, so let's talk about, looks like we still are waiting for answers. So let's talk about the ingredients that we have. And, how does this differentiate from the tamales that people may know from Mexico?
Okay, of course, I don't know if everyone know, but tamales came from the Mexicans. Of course, they do the tamales up to now. It is like their staple in Mexico. It is just so warming that we know our history and we embrace their recipe of tamales, and that's why tamales for me is also important. It's history. It brings so much story and so much, fun-filled memories about my family. Anyway, the recipe is certainly different from the Mexican tamales because Filipinos adopted the tamales based on our existing ingredients. Like here, we have oil, we use garlic, we use onion. One of the not secret, but most important ingredients of tamales is this what they call anato, or we call it achuete, which
Yes.
we got it from the Mexicans. It's a natural. Their seeds, they're natural. Just put some water, even like hot water, and it gives you this beautiful color of orange, like we call it now anato oil or achuete oil.
Right.
The flavor is very, very distinct, no? So that's why tamales has a certain flavor that people cannot even figure it out. It's actually the anato. So, of course, it's a Mexican, it's a Spanish fare, so we have also some chorizo. I shredded some chicken as well. We have egg. We have a little peanut. Of course, we have the gata, which is not in the original recipe of the Mexican.
I'm
And
sure.
little story. When you say Mexican tamales, they use a lot of corn and they wrap it with
Yes.
corn husk.
Yes.
While we don't have corn, as you know, we're so abundant with rice, di ba? So what the Kapampangans did is that we use rice instead of corn. Makes sense.
Yes.
And because we cannot wrap it with corn husk, we don't have enough. We have plenty of banana leaves.
Banana
so
leaves.
we wrap it banana leaves. Yes.
Very innovative.
So
Okay.
very innovative.
Before we go into the process, Chef, or
Yeah.
actually before you finish the rest, we do have a winner. Yay! Congratulations, Lori Care Legaspi Bulaklak. You answered correctly with 110 calories. Very good. You were paying attention. Okay, so Chef, the rest of the ingredients, obviously, I'm sure we have potatoes in here somewhere.
Yes. So now, because especially during the pandemic, we ate a lot of rice. In fact, I gained weight eating rice.
Me too.
And it made me realize also that you could do other ingredients aside from rice. You could do like using potatoes for a change, and it's even, like you mentioned, it's even more nutritious, and even the flavor is so super special. It's so distinct. At the same time, it's like a very neutral. Like rice is very neutral. You could use a lot of things. You could make soup out of it. Like you said, you make dessert, you make savory dishes, and even like for this dish, using U.S. dehydrated granule potato to make tamales. And it's very chic. I found it very funky, especially for the young generation. They could try this, and I'm sure you would like the taste of potato. You would love the tamales with the help of the U.S. potato.
All right, I'm excited to see. Let's get started.
Okay. This is going to be, whenever I do a recipe, I want it so doable so that you could also do it at home. All right?
Absolutely.
It's very simple.
Our viewers like that.
Yes. Okay. So, of course, in a hot pan, we could use vegetable oil.
Okay.
Or corn oil, olive oil if you want, better. And then the usual, you need the gisa, so you need some onions.
Okay. And so for the onions, does it matter if it's red or white?
Yes. And it doesn't matter also if, normally we put garlic first, but I found out that garlic, they burn faster than onions, so I see that the onion comes first.
Yeah.
And of course, that smell. When you smell something like that, naalala mo agad yung nanay mo, because my mom used to cook for us a lot.
That's home. That's home cooking, Chef.
Yes.
Garlic and onions.
And now I have also some, a while ago I bought some chicken because I had some shredded chicken for my tamales. I kept the chicken stock.
Yes.
Now we could pour the chicken stock.
Zero waste.
Yes, even like if you think you are, say, vegan, you could use this recipe without using the chicken stock. You could use water if you want.
Okay.
Then, now it's simmering, we could now add our U.S. potato, the U.S. dehydrated potato. I'm using the granule.
Right. So I know that when you use the granules, actually when I first used granules and flakes, I was really intimidated by them. And then after the first time I used it, I was kind of like hitting myself over the head. What took me so long? It was so easy to use.
For me, well, I have also frozen potato, but dehydrated potato is so powerful for me. Like I do a lot of catering, and
Yeah.
you could easily feed like thousands of people using without really peeling off. Your potato become consistent. So sometimes when you use fresh potato, for example, iba-iba yung ano, di ba? Sometimes are dry, some are
course.
wet. But
Yeah.
when you use dehydrated potato, it's very consistent. So just around the amount of water or milk or starch, and that's about it. Okay, now we have mixed the potato granule with the stock already. So we got this consistency. Then we add our gata or our coconut cream.
Okay. And so obviously, is this coconut cream or is this coconut milk?
Yes.
Do we use a thicker cream for this recipe, chef, or just the first squeeze of the milk?
Yeah, it becomes a little bit rich, but that's the way it is. It sounds like difficult, but actually easy to do. Now we have already the base,
Okay.
and then we put some color like the achuere, season with a little bit of salt. Yan. A little bit salt, some pepper,
And maybe drooling a little.
and then yan.
I really do enjoy tamales. So for me, I'm excited to try this recipe as well. So we're just mixing and incorporating, making sure the oil
Yes, we need to incorporate the coconut cream with a potato mixture. And this becomes our base for the tamales. Look at the color. It's so bright and delicious. Okay, voila, this is your tamales. As easy as that. Then just
Wow.
turn off the
base.
thing. We need to taste it. If it is like, we test the,
Taste every step of the way, guys.
it's perfect.
Of course.
Now,
It's Chef Sao.
okay, normally what they do is they have banana leaves and they put the mixture and then put all the toppings and then wrap it, right?
Yes.
And then they keep it to refrigerator or maybe they simmer it. But the way I do it, I would put it in my
Piping bag.
plastic bag, yes, and then put the mixture into the bag. Well, you know what, Marty ako, no? So I put it in a bag, but actually you could spoon it and you put it in the cup. But I'm just being OC. Just want it to be. So
This is gonna
if
be
you don't have this,
tamales.
you could use your spoon. Like I have a glass, you could just spoon it like this and put it inside the glass, right? But I want to make
Yeah.
it more clean and appealing to
Appealing.
say
Instagrammable. We're ready.
yes. So now we could.
And that's hot. So you're
I know you
don't
notice
try
that
this
it's
at
hot.
home, kids.
Okay. Siguro you don't need to put it right away. You could have it cold if you want. After all, tamales is supposed to be cold.
So you
And
really
hot.
serve it cold normally.
So, yeah, look at this. It's just beautiful.
So pretty.
And then put off some of this another oil on top of it. That will give you beautiful color on top. Voila. And then here's my tweezer. Put the elements together like chicken. Okay, again, if you're vegetarian or you're vegan, skip the chicken. You could put tofu if you want, di ba?
Or mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Enoki mushrooms.
I like that.
And that looks
Enoki.
shredded like that too, right?
Yeah, some chorizo again. If you just want it with chorizo, you put some
I think
egg.
the chorizo adds an extra flavor. I'm so making this, chef. And then is that eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and chorizo.
Yeah,
So that's
a
everything
little
that you
bit
would
of
normally
the
find.
little of the nuts,
And that's
and then
peanuts.
there's peanuts, roasted peanuts, and of course it's not chef sao without the flour.
There you go.
So the flour, voila. So that took me
Beautiful.
less than 10 minutes to serve it to your, say, customer, to your friends. You want to show off, you like serving it to your husband. Are you going to do this with your husband?
I will serve it to him, and he'll say he will want to marry me again. If I make it look as pretty as that with the U.S. potatoes, I'm sure he will enjoy it too.
Okay, so there goes our modern version of our tamales. Look at that, so sexy.
And done in minutes, guys. Did you guys see how fast Chef was able to pull that all together? The versatility and even the ease of which
Yes.
the potato granules and the flakes are to create it. It looks gorgeous, Chef.
Yes, and madali lang. If I could do it, you could do it as well. It's so easy. So if you need help, then let me know. Maybe I could give you some tips as well. But as you see,
Sure.
I finish it in less than 10 minutes.
Thank you so much for teaching us that and for, of course, making it look easy. But guys, it really does look like a very easy recipe to throw together. Let's say hello to some of our viewers. We have Bebot Tayag Aventajado. Hi, Tita Beb. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here with Chef Sal. We also have Rhea tuning in all the way from the US. Hello, Rhea. Hi, Anna and Che Mateo. Thanks for tuning in as well. Okay, looks like Rhea Petty just commented and said, "Ang bilis, please serve at Cafe Fleur po," because they will come in asking for it. And guys, you know what? You can make this at home while Chef is now preparing for his second recipe that he's going to share with us. Let's go ahead and have we'll run another quiz the cook question, right? So if you guys are ready and you've been paying attention, you know that since this is the third question, the third person to answer correctly, who has shared the live stream and is set to public that we can see it, will have a chance to win the apron, the mouse pad, a new cookbook on how to use U.S. potatoes in your desserts, and of course, a backpack when you want to go run around town. And my son already called dibs on the backpack because it really has a lot of pockets and very useful and practical. Okay, guys, third person wins correct. Third person to answer wins. Third person to answer correctly wins this swag kit. And of course, we need an address in Metro Manila so Potatoes USA can send you your swag. Okay, guys, here we go. Which nutrient is abundant in potato skins? This is our third question. We'll show the third tile. Of course, the winner here will get to, of course, again, take home a mouse pad, a new cookbook, an apron, and a backpack that you can carry everything in. So which nutrient is abundant in potato skins? Okay. I see a lot of answers here that say protein. I will correct you guys. It is there, but that's not what it's abundant in. So go ahead and try again. We do want you guys to have a chance to win this third prize, the third set of potato swag that you guys can take home. I am super excited to make those tamales in our own kitchen. And guys, so for those of you also, potato products are available all over the country. You can find frozen U.S. potatoes in pretty much any supermarket that you go to. And the granules and the flakes are also available in lots of the bake shops.
What is?
And you can visit
What is? Gloves.
potatogoodness.ph to see how to use those products in all different ways. Right now, we have a really big campaign about regional foods incorporating potatoes into our comfort food dishes, the heritage dishes that were passed on, much like Chef is sharing with us today. Okay, while we find the third person, oh, I think we have a winner. There we go. Congratulations, Che Mateo. You answered correctly by saying fiber. Someone from the team will be getting in touch with you so that you can give us a Metro Manila address to send out your swag to. Thanks for participating, guys. I'm so glad to see everyone is really engaged and excited to take home their own potato swag. All right, so what flavors, Chef, can we expect in this next dish? Can you tell us about this recipe? I know you and I talked about it also a little bit off camera, so I love the stories that you tell about the dishes. I'm sure our viewers will love it too. Oops, Chef, you're muted. Let's unmute, Chef.
Okay,
Thank
so can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Well, for the next recipe, we will be making pisto. Well, like I said, it's actually pisto from the morcilla in Spain. We adopted it. Kapampangan have their own ways of, pronouncing words. Like pinto, we call it pinto, like same thing with pisto, we call it pisto. And I cannot recall any parts of the world or any parts of the Philippines they make this recipe. In fact, this is also a dying recipe. Pisto is a celebratory dish. We only prepare this like every morning, if not during there's a wake or even like during the Easter season, we make a lot of this pisto. Well, the beauty about pisto, it started like whatever leftover you have in the refrigerator, whether it's pork, chorizo, or even potatoes. They mix it up and they cook it for the following day, and they eat this with their breakfast, as their breakfast. Okay. And the nice thing about pisto as well, sorry?
It's a hearty breakfast if it has
it's
all
of
that.
It's complete because it has some porks. Okay, I'll let you know the recipe, the ingredients. Okay. So it has some pork here. Again, if you want to make it vegan, you could use tofu or say cauliflower. Okay. But I'm doing the traditional one. We have some chorizo as well, and some bell pepper, peas, salt and pepper, and of course egg, because it's supposed to be a breakfast thing, like with your hash brown. And of course, I'm using frozen potato, the hash brown. Of course, we all love hash brown as it is. Yes. You just deep fried it. But the original pisto, they would get fresh potato and they cut it they cut it into cubes and become pisto. But with the use of U.S. frozen like the hash brown, it will make your life easier because it's always available and it's very practical to keep. Just put it in the freezer; it's always there, and voila, it's very doable dish. So
absolutely, it's definitely perfect for the busy moms. I know I have hash browns in the freezer all the time. So we've done, all kinds of different dishes with hash browns because the kids love them. But this, it's time saving. Of course, it's nutrient dense as well. The fact that it's frozen doesn't change the makeup of all of the vitamins and the minerals that are available to us through the potatoes. So definitely easier for busy moms like me.
Yes, like you mentioned about they've been stuck in the freezer for how many days. You could always use other frozen potatoes. Use frozen potatoes, like if you have French fries, you could cut them. It becomes like a diced potato. If you have taters, you could use them. In this case, I'm using hash brown potato. So whenever you're ready.
We're ready.
Yes,
we're ready.
I am so ready. I'm so excited to share this recipe. Again, I learned this from my grandmother. So pag ginagawa ko to, I feel joy, I feel love. just bring back the old memories. And actually, I am sharing a bit of my family tradition through food.
Yes. Yeah, and we love that. That's where the stories are. That's actually what I call the kitchen love. That's like
Yes,
that's the extra that gets thrown in there.
right.
That secret ingredient.
Well, that's the beauty about food. It's love. Okay, normally we saute onions and garlic oil, but I started using the chorizo to render its fat. That gives you that beautiful flavor, the salty, fatty flavor coming from the chorizo. Yan. Now you see that orange color, that's already the fat. And then let's add a little bit more of the oil.
Okay.
And now we could again start with onions,
Okay.
garlic. Ay,
Do without
yes,
that. That smells like home. I know it.
you said it right. Okay, now we could add our ground pork. Again, if you want chicken, if you want lamb, if you want other beef, you could do so. This is very similar to picadillo, except that picadillo, they put the egg on top, but here we could mix it with our protein. Yeah, yeah, that
So we
smell.
have Nina B, who is also saying that she knows this recipe from her parents too. So she must have Kapampangan roots as well.
Yes. Now, just watching this, I'm taking you to Pampanga now.
I'm excited. I'm sure all of our viewers are too. And, for those of you who are tuning in, one thing that I loved about how all of the chefs have really made the recipes that they share with us so simple. There's nothing intimidating about cooking this. We can try this at home. We can be a kitchen novice and know how to do this very easily with the expertise, of course, with all the chefs that we're so privileged to learn from for these episodes. So, Chef, you're just browning the meat and getting it cooked all the way through?
Yeah, actually it's already cooked, and
Okay.
we season it with pepper and some
Okay.
salt. Sabi nga nila, if you want to have a happy life, marry a Kapampangan.
Okay.
O yan. Now, we could add our green peas. Well, I'm just showing you the original recipe. You could improvise whatever vegetable you want. Of course, in respect to the tradition and history and heritage, we have to keep that recipe alive, right? So,
Yeah. So, what was that
there.
last ingredient that you put in? That one was pepper, red bell
Yeah,
pepper.
that's bell pepper.
Okay.
Okay, we're basically done with our pesto. Now, we will add our U.S. frozen, or how we call it, hash brown.
Yep.
Simple as that. It's already cooked, so it
So it's
cooks
just
faster.
crumbling. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Di ba ang ganda?
Super easy.
It's so easy. Like, especially the millennials, they're always on the go. They always they don't find time to cook, but this one, you could even, you could finish it in 10 minutes, and then you could leave at home, and then the following morning, you could eat it again. Voila. So, we're almost done. And then the last part, we would put our egg.
Okay, so Sandy Dalisay is excited for the outcome, and Julie Ann Lim Azuran says her kids love hash browns too. So Julie, our kids are
Yes,
alike.
the kids would love this actually. And then I put some butter, and then we cook a bit of our egg, scrambled egg.
So the egg is
right?
just beaten, and you actually cook the egg in the same pan.
Yes, I try to
Okay.
separate a bit, and then you start mixing it with the meat.
This
Yeah.
really, it's definitely a nutritious dish for the kids. Like I could see my kids just taking a scoop of this and putting it on top of rice and running away. um,
Well,
it's really a,
In
mm-hmm.
Pampanga, we eat it with pandesal, make it like a sandwich. So normally you put it in the
Okay.
middle of the table and you have all the pandesal and then you just insert the pistu and most of the time pinababaon to sa school ng mga parents, you know. But I will do it slightly different, but instead of putting, I'm done by the way, instead of putting
That's
it
how
in
fast.
pandesal, I would even
Yeah.
put it on top of the hash
Hash
brown.
brown.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So
Okay,
we
so
just,
while you're getting that ready, I'm gonna, Vanessa is also saying she's very hungry. She said it in Tagalog. I'm gonna try. Nakakagutom naman po. Did I say that right? I said it right. Good job, Michelle. I'm patting myself on the back. While Chef is plating, while he's plating the piece stew, let's have another giveaway. We do have 2 more prize sets for you to take home. You have a bake cookbook that you can use potato products and create desserts with, a new mouse pad, an apron when you want to get cooking in the kitchen with yourself and maybe your family, and of course, even a backpack that you guys can tool around town with. This is the 4th question, so this means the 4th person to answer correctly wins. Remember that it's all fair game. Are you ready? Okay, myth or fact? Potatoes are fatty. So I am sure that if you guys have been paying attention, you would know whether this is a myth or a fact. And of course, amongst all of the different nutritional facts that we've been sharing with you guys, this is actually something that I am very happy about, right? So, myth or fact, potatoes are fatty. So, we will be taking the 4th person who answers correctly. We will only be delivering these kits to Metro Manila addresses. So, if you do win and you're signing in from someplace a little bit further away, make sure you call up your friend or a family member who you can share the kitchen love with. Congratulations, Vanessa Regulado. You answered correctly by answering myth. Correct. Potatoes are not fatty. In fact, they are fat free.
oh
Okay, it
wow.
looks like, Chef, why don't, while you're plating, are you okay with me asking the next question or would you like to plate first?
Okay, yeah, I'd love to answer the question. What's the question like?
No, I'll ask the next question for Quiz the Cook. Are we
Oh
okay
yeah,
to ask?
go ahead,
Yes?
go ahead.
Okay.
See, go
All
ahead.
right. So, guys, this is something very easy for all of you. I know this is your last chance to win. This is the 5th and final question of our 4th and final episode for Potatoes USA. But don't worry, if you're only tuning in now, you can get all of the recipes from the full series on potatogoodness.ph. Okay. So, and not just these recipes that are that are rich in Kapampangan heritage and culture. You will get all of the recipes that chefs all over the Philippines have been creating for the different regional cuisines as well. All right, so last question. I gave you some hints there. What website can you visit to see all the recipes from our potato hacks special with Potatoes USA? All right, guys. So while you're answering, remember this is the 4th person to answer correctly. And of course, we need you to have shared the live. Make sure it's set to public. So if you haven't shared, go ahead and share now. Hashtag sharing is caring. And then, of course, if you have some friends or family who live in Metro Manila, you can share that gift with them through Potatoes USA. All right, it looks like we have some answers. And while we're waiting for those answers, Chef Sao, I think we're ready. I'm ready to see how this is going to come out. I know that so many of our viewers are excited to see it too.
Okay, so going back to our dish, just put some pesto in a bowl or the way you want it. You could present it the way you want it. But like I said, instead of using pandesal, it's going to be more exciting and nutritious if you put it like in hash brown. I'll show you how. So, kunwari ito yun. You could serve it in the family. I'm sure your kids would love this because it looks so appetizing. It looks so
Yes.
easy to manage. So, kunyari, I would get one of this. I'll show you how you do it, right?
Oh, my
And
son
then,
would love this.
and then I would just put something on top of the hash brown, and then take a bite.
There you go. Delicious. Fantastic. There you have it, guys. Chef Sao threw together so quickly pesto that, of course, we know is a dish from Pampanga that is rich in Kapampangan culture. This is exciting for me to be able to make this. Of course, I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to tag my Tito Bert as well and let him know that I'm going. And I will also tag Tita Bebs. Hey, Tita Bebs, let's go visit Chef Sao so we can try some more of his delicious cooking. So, Chef, that looked fantastic. Of course, you made it look so easy. But for everyone who is tuning in, we know that these products are so easy to use. U.S. potato products are not only versatile, they're affordable, they're shelf stable, of course, and it's great when you have bigger families or bigger groups that you're feeding. And of course, good as well if you wanted, if you were just a few in the family, very easy to pull just a few pieces out of the freezer or to measure out your granules and flakes for mashed potatoes. Seriously, guys, I was so intimidated until I actually did it for the first time. And when I did, I felt so empowered. And Chef, you have empowered all of our viewers. And Mina B has even said, no hash browns a long time ago in Pampanga. And this is a great innovation. I will use it and update my recipe. Thank you, Mina. I am so glad that you were able to pick something up from of course, our esteemed chef who joined us today. All right, I think we have a winner, the fifth and final winner for our Potatoes USA swag. Congratulations, Sandy Dalisay. You answered correctly with potatogoodness.ph. Guys, you can see all of these recipes, plus the recipes of Chef Jackie Angpo, Chef Mom Rosebud Benitez, and of course, Ninong Rai, where they shared all of their inspiring recipes for you as well. Okay, so you guys know chef's dishes aren't only delicious, they of course are Instagrammable. Chef will be looking for that photo on your feed. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us when we can visit Sao Sao. Will that be opening soon?
Well, Sao Sao will open the next few weeks, probably after holiday week, and I'm inviting you guys to come over and witness what we have prepared for Philippine cuisine. So also you come.
Yes, we will come. I promise we will, and we will also visit you in Cafe Fleur. Chef, if our viewers would like to connect with you on social media, where can they follow you?
Well, my IG Chef Sao. Of course, I'm in Facebook as well, and we have also a Instagram for Sao Sao and Cafe Fleur. You could always
Fantastic.
ask me how I did it, but I'm sure it's easy. If you have any question about US potato also, you could always go to their website, or you can even contact me. I'm more than willing to share my recipes and facts or knowledge about US potato, whether it's dehydrated or frozen.
Thank you so much, Chef. This has been such an educational experience, not just for our viewers, but of course for myself. I could probably sit around a table with you telling us stories for days. Fantastic. Thank you for your time, your energy, and of course, big thank you to Potatoes USA, our sponsor for today's episode and the 3 episodes prior. We are so excited that we got to share some kitchen love through the powerful spud. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in. And of course, you guys know you can come back and see us in 2 weeks' time. I'm Michelle Ventajado, and this is Kitchen 143. See you soon.